Hi everyone. Today's yoga practice is my personal yoga practice. This practice is somewhat vigorous and you will get your heart pumping and your breath will become a little bit more stable. There are going to be many options available for all the moves, and as always, downward dog or child's pose are excellent break poses. Feel free to pause the video or take a break at any time during this 30-minute practice. These free virtual classes are aimed for Canadian Armed Forces members, but we understand that many others will take advantage of these classes. So prior to participating in this session, consult the Get Active questionnaire of the Canadian Society of Exercise Physiology and its reference document. By continuing with this virtual fitness class, you understand that there is an at-your-own-risk possibility of physical injury, and you assume all risk of injury and agree to release the Canadian Forces Morale and Welfare Services from any and all claims related to your participation. If you do like this class and would like to see more, please comment and let us know. Enjoy the class. Namaste. Let's find Tadasana at the top of our mat. Arms extended down by our sides. Chest is lifted as we fill the lungs completely with every inhale and just letting our breath soften on the exhale. Rolling our shoulder blades down our back to create some tension. Lifting through our belly and engaging through the thighs in our standing Tadasana meditation. Nice long, slow breaths here. Whoosh. Taking the hands to heart center in a namaste pose. Just pausing here. We're going to inhale arms towards the ceiling. Exhale, nice big forward dive, bending softly to the knees, letting our back round. Inhaling into a flat back, working through those muscles, and exhaling, just letting our body round forward, keeping that gentle bend in our knees. Bending the knees deeply, inhaling tall to the sky with those arms. Exhaling, hands back to heart center. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, nice big forward dive, softening through the knees. Let's inhale, lift through the back, pull those shoulder blades down as we exhale, rounding deeply forward, bending the knees. Maybe doing a little bit of a walk with the knees before setting our intention to inhale, arms to the sky. Inhaling, arms to the sky here. Exhale, leaning back slightly, engaging through the core. Maybe bringing a hand to the lower back for support. Let's inhale tall, exhale to the left side. So we've got a nice long palm tree vinyasa going on here. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the right side. Inhale to center. Exhale, forward dive. Letting our body rest here. Maybe shaking the head. Lifting to the flat back and then getting nice and deep into this fold. Bending through the knees. I'm just going to go through a little bit of leg extensions here. So I'm deepening through my squat, grabbing my big toe with my hands, and then coming into a full leg extension. There we go. Inhaling, getting nice and deep, just getting my body ready and my hips ready for some movements, extending through the legs. We're going to inhale, arms to the sky this time, bringing ourselves to standing, hands back to heart center as we exhale. Inhale, arms tall to the sky, coming into a grabbed hand pointed vinyasa. So exhaling, leaning backwards, taking those hands nice and tight, core is tight. Inhale back to center, exhale over to the left side. Now you notice that little twist in my shoulders. We're just recentering that chest. We're going to inhale back to center, exhale over to the right side. Same thing. Turn that chest slightly towards the center line and you get a little bit more out of the core in that one. Inhale back to center, exhale forward dive. Taking a moment. Inhale, let's lift to a flat back. Exhale, rounding forward. Getting nice and deep, inhaling tall with those arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. I'm doing a little dance, just letting my body loosen up a little bit before I start into my vinyasas. So we're going to inhale tall to the sky with our arms here. Exhale, nice big forward dive. We're going to inhale, coming into our flat back. Exhale, bring those hands beside the feet. Step our left leg back here. We're going to take one hand to our thighs and reach that left arm tall to the sky. We're going to bend through the back knee, tilt our pelvic forward, and just re-extend through the back leg. Inhaling, letting our arm come forward towards the ground, bring yourself into plank pose. You can take a kneeling plank. We're warming up here, letting our body come all the way down to the ground in our chaturanga. Lifting up into a cobra pose, exhaling down. Through the toes or knees, pressing yourself up into a downward dog pose. Now, this is our first downward dog of the day, so let's pedal those legs a little bit, creating a little bit of looseness in the hamstrings. Really pressing through those arms to create a nice flat back here. Let's inhale, take our left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it forward in between those two front hands. That left hand comes on top of the thigh. Right hand reaches towards the sky. We're just getting nice and deep into that low lunge. Hands come down to the floor in front of you. Both legs come together. Exhaling, rounding forward. Inhale, nice big reach to the sky with those hands. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, nice big forward dive. Inhale, flat back. Pulling the shoulders together, exhaling down, stepping our right leg back this time. That left hand finds its place on the thigh, right arm reaches towards the sky as we tilt the pelvic bone forward before extending through the back leg. Pausing here for that nice big psoas stretch. Exhaling, hand comes down to the ground, bringing both feet to the back of our mat, coming into a nice high plank pose. Chaturanga down towards the ground, flip those toes over, lift up into an upward dog, pull those shoulder blades together, keep those quads and thighs engaged. Inhale, flip those toes back over before bringing yourself into a downward dog. And if you have a puppy by the end of the mat, maybe giving them a little bit of a puppy cuddle with your foot there. This dog is named Echo. She's very friendly. We're taking our right leg forward, taking the right hand to the top of the right thigh, reaching the left arm towards the sky, coming into a nice high lunge here, getting that nice psoas stretch on the side. Exhale, hand comes down to the ground. One final puppy cuddle, stepping that back leg to the front and exhaling forward. Inhale, let's let our hips sink down, arms towards the sky. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Let's inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, forward dive. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend through the knees. Step our right leg back this time, coming into that full expression of our high lunge. So my back heel is lifted in this picture as much as my dog's covering it. Hands come back down to the mat, coming into my nice high lunge. Elbows to the outside of the body as I bring myself up to that nice upward dog. Now that whole vinyasa, which is what those are called, can be done in a kneeling position as well. I'm just adjusting my headphones there. I've got to listen to a little bit of music, and I do encourage everyone else to play music while they're listening to this video. It does make a little bit more enjoyable. So we're taking our left leg forward here. Both arms reach the sky. We sink down through the back knee and extend the leg at that nice low point. So we get that big psoas stretch when we do that. I'm lifting my chest here. I'm almost doing a little bit of a backwards arch, but not too much. Exhale, bring my hands down, stepping my back leg forward, letting my body round forward. I'm going to inhale my arms to the sky here. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, forward dive. Same thing on the other side. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, lowering down, stepping our right leg back here. Nice high lunge, sinking low through that back knee and getting that nice psoas stretch. Looking up to the sky if you want to add a little bit more of a chest extension in there and that psoas tightening. Bring those hands down on an inhale. Pause, exhaling into that nice chaturanga, up to up dog. Flip those toes, or if you want to take that extra challenge, keep those toes folded under into your downward dog. Taking a few breaths here. Let's bring our right leg forward in between those two front hands. Bring yourself back into that high lunge position, both arms to the sky. Nice strong core. Shoulders are pulled down. Hands come down on that exhale, stepping our back leg to the front, lifting to a slight flat back, exhaling down. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Now this is what I call my Jimmy Jams, my squiggles out. I get a little warm, so I shake it out. I do a clothing adjustment. I encourage everyone to do the same. Yoga moves a lot of clothes in a lot of weird places, so do take those breaks. I'm ready to get going here. Take our hands back to heart center. Let's inhale, arms to the sky, and bring it into a nice squat pose. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, dive down. Good. Stepping our right leg back here. reaching the left arm to the sky. So coming into that nice little twist. Back knee can't come down here if this is too much work for you, and that front hand can come underneath a block, or sorry, over top of a block. We're going to take that hand, drop our back heel down. That left arm comes to rest on top of our left thigh, and the right arm reaches over top of the head in a nice extended side angle. Now you can get a little deeper in this one as long as you maintain that nice reach from wrist to ankle on the left side. I'm going to swoop my arm down to the ground here, slide my front leg to the back, and come into a nice high plank pose. Good. We're just breathing in plank here. Chaturanga, nice slow lower. Flip those toes. Inhale, up dog. Think you can do your bonus push-up here. Yep, one bonus push-up just in case, and bring yourself into a downward dog. Anytime you do a vinyasa, if you're really working on your upper body endurance, add that little bonus push-up. Let's inhale, like bending deeply through those legs, really flattening the back here, rolling the body forward to step our right leg forward in between those two front hands. That right arm reaches towards the sky this time into that nice twist position. You can take that top hand and rest it on the lower back if you want to for a little extra support, or drop that back knee down as I showed you in the other example. We're going to drop our back heel down here, rest that right arm on top of our right thigh, and lower down into this nice extended side angle. Again, wrist to ankle, that's that straight line we're looking for, so keep those hips tucked under. You can reach the ground, or as I'm doing in this one, look into my ankle for support. Inhale, let's take that arm, swoop it backwards, surround that front foot, stepping our back leg to the front. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, rounding down. Coming into our nice chair pose. Inhaling, arms to the ceiling. Keep that belly pulled in. Hips square back. Let's take our hands to heart center here, just getting a little bit deeper into this twist pose. I've actually lifted my right heel off the ground, and I'm going to take my left elbow to the outside of that right knee. Now, this might be where you stay because you just don't have that range yet. If you want to, you can drop the heel down and get a little deeper into the squat pose. That's always optional. Exhale, bring yourself back to center, extend the legs, letting our body round forward here. Pedaling out those legs, bending through those knees. Let's inhale tall to the sky. Both arms, exhale, hands to heart center. Do the same thing on the other side. Inhale tall to the sky with those arms. Bringing it back into that chair pose. Nice deep squat here. Exhale, hands come forward, extend through the legs, round the body forward. Maybe pedal the legs out. Check your headphones to make sure they stay in. Exhale, bring those hands back to the ground. Extend our right leg back this time. Whoops, just kidding. I meant my left leg. So we're taking our left leg back this time, reaching our right arm to the sky. So we do the same sequence, just opposite legs are leading. Good, sinking down nice and low into this nice twist, keeping that front knee tucked towards the mid-center line. You can take that top hand, bring it behind the back. There is actually a twist you can do in this pose, although I don't take us there today. We're coming into that extended side angle. As you can see here, my hip is really high. So if I was coaching myself, tuck that hip down, get that nice long angle from wrist to ankle going again. Taking that top hand down, surrounding both feet, coming into a nice high plank. I love a good high plank. It used to be my rest pose in my yoga classes. Coming down into our chaturanga, flip those toes up to up dog. Good. Flip those toes back under. Bonus push-up. And bring yourself into downward dog. Really pressing through those arms. Making sure the weight's distributed over the 4 points of contact. Maybe lifting the heels a little bit. See how deep you can get with those hips and your back. Good. We're going to roll that body forward, stepping our left leg to the front. Good. Reaching that right arm towards the sky. Or sorry, left arm towards the sky. Oh. Sinking deeply here. You can take that top arm if you wanted to, place behind the back if you want to. Good. We're going to extended side angle here. This side wasn't feeling very nice, so I decided I wanted to see if I could get that little bit of a bind going. That's not working, so I'm going to try again doing that extended side angle. Yes, there you go. Sinking those hips down. Let's take that top hand down. Bring that back leg forward, round forward here. Maybe pedal the legs. They're getting a little tired. Inhale, flat back. Exhaling down. Inhale, coming into our nice chair pose that we all love to hold forever. We're just breathing here. Hands come back to heart center on an inhale. Lift the left heel. Again, we're coming into that little twist. So that right elbow comes in the outside of the left knee. And if you want to get a little deeper, you can sink that heel down. Good. Just breathing here. I know it's a little bit of work. Exhaling down, extend through the legs, round the body forward. Taking a moment. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, letting our body sink down. Inhale, coming up to the sky, nice tall position. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. I am wiping the sweat off my forehead. I got to shake it out. These are my Jimmy Jams. This is my Jam Jam. Everyone should do a little bit of a wiggle out. Get silly with your yoga. Good. Again, adjust your headphones if you're wearing any. Or get rocking with it. Look at this song. I'm having a great time now. Good. Adjust those clothings. Hands come to heart center whenever you're ready. We're going to inhale tall to the sky here. Exhale, nice big forward dive. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, sinking it down, nice and low. Good. So we're working a little bit on our squat here. Exhale, arms come up beside those ears. Look at this nice low squat. Ideally, the chest would be a little bit higher, but you go to where you can. We're going to exhale, bring the hands down, step our right leg back, reach that left arm towards the sky. So that's option one. Option two is you can actually take this as the twist that we've been prepping for. So your right elbow comes on the outside of your left knee. Your hands are in a namaste prayer pose. We're just breathing deeply here. Only do this if you're ready. You can also do that with a bent knee down in the back. Coming into a nice high plank. Hello, plank, as I like to say. Rolling it to the outside of your left and right foot. Coming into that nice side plank on the left side. Breathing here. Keep those hips nice and lifted. We're going to roll it back into that front plank. Nice, controlled. Same thing on the right side. So we roll those heels down to the mat. Reach our left arm towards the sky. Notice my hips don't change height throughout. I stay at the same height. Bring myself back into that front plank, up into Vinyasa. So that up dog, flipping those toes over. See if I do the bonus push-up. Yep, bonus push-up still there. And into the downward dog. Nice deep breathing here, letting your body come back to balance, letting it come back into that nice steady breath. Beautiful. Let's step our right leg towards the front, dropping our back heel down. We're going to reach it up, a nice extended side angle here. Oh, nope, just kidding. I'm taking a twist. So we can take that right arm up towards the sky, bring it behind the back. The left arm snuggles underneath that front leg. And if you can reach those hands together, great. This is a lot of work here. We're coming into a little bit of a balance pose. I call it drunken flamingo. It's also called stork pose. So I've stepped my back leg to the front and I'm extending through my bound leg. This is challenging. If this is too hard to do, just hold the bind in your low lunge. If you're not comfortable in the bind in the low lunge, just hold the low lunge. Stepping that front leg back into our plank pose, coming down into that chaturanga, up to up dog. No bonus push-up. That one's pretty tough, that stork or drunken flamingo pose. Coming back into our downward dog. Beautiful. We're going to do some Shakti kicks here. So we Shakti kick. So I brought both big toes together, bending through my elbows and my knees, and I'm going to try and kick my feet up over top of my head. This is a precursor for a handstand pose. Obviously, we're not taking handstand today. Stepping both legs to the front of the mat, inhaling and exhaling, letting our body round. Inhale, let's bring ourselves back into that chair pose. I love a good chair. Excuse me. And inhaling tall. Let's take our hands to heart center. Inhale tall to the sky. Exhale, forward dive. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, rounding down. Inhale, coming into our chair pose. Arms come beside those ears, lifting through the chest here. Another cue I use sometimes is look towards the sky with your eyes. Hopefully your chest follows. Exhaling down. Stepping our left leg back here. Reaching our right arm towards the sky. Now, if we want to take that little twist, we can take our left arm on the outside of the right knee, take our hands to that namaste prayer pose, and into that nice low twist. Here's option two. Just breathing here. Exhale, hands come back down to the floor, stepping our front leg to the back, pausing for a second in our front plank before rolling to the outside of our right feet into our right side plank. Taking our top hand down, pausing again in our high plank, rolling to the left side. Again, notice the hip height does not change throughout, so I don't let it sink or raise up throughout. Bring it back to our front plank. I wanted to take a downward dog, but I'm taking myself into Vinyasa. Downward dog is always an option for you. Pausing in down dog. Good. Taking that nice deep breath. Slowly rolling that body forward, taking our left leg to the front, taking our left arm on the inside of that front leg. Right arm reaches towards the sky and behind the back. You can try and lift that bottom arm off the ground, grabbing a hold of the fingers. If you don't grab a hold of the fingers, I don't recommend doing the stork pose or the drunken flamingo, as it is really challenging to lift that leg up. So I've stepped my back leg to the front. I'm slowly lifting that bound leg off the ground, and I'm trying to extend it out to the side. I try and do a toe point just to make it look a little prettier, but really, it's a really tough pose, and if you saw my face in this picture right now, it would be great. So I did not come out of that the right way. I stepped back with the wrong leg, and I recognize that here. Just switching legs, coming into that nice forward fold, because I was supposed to step both legs to the front of the mat there. Letting my body rest in that forward fold. Whew, that's a hard pose we just did. Beautiful. Bend through those knees. Inhale, chair pose. Love a good chair. Inhale, tall to the sky with those arms. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Good. You're going to shake it out a little bit. We've done a lot of the sequences that we are going to do today. We're going to be moving on to our balance pose. If you are a little bit warm like I am, I do encourage you to grab your sweat. The balance poses, you might want to use your strap for this if you do have a strap. If you don't have the strap, that's okay too. I think I do most of the demos here without the strap, but the strap is available for that front foot. So for this one, we're finding our nice level hips. We're going to lift our right leg up. So I'm going to show you from the side. As I lift my leg up, my hips don't change height. That's what I want you guys to do. That's how high that front knee is. So we're extending. Now we're going to extend the leg out. Notice I've leaned back slightly, but as soon as I lean forward, bring my arms up, that leg lowers down. That's my working pose. I'm working to try and bring that leg higher, but it's really tough on that thigh. So hands come back to heart center on an inhale, extending the leg out behind us, warrior 3. So for this one, I'm trying to keep my hips nice and level. Inhale, let's bring ourselves back to tall. If you want, you can touch that foot down to reestablish. We're coming into King Dancer here. So I actually grab a hold of my ankle, flex my foot, extend my arm out to the shoulder line, and lift through the hip. Now that first little lift, that might be where you go. If you want to get a little deeper, you can extend through the leg and lift. So I'm kicking into my holding hand, pulling my toe towards my shin. This is a lot of work in this pose. People that say otherwise are not doing this pose properly. Releasing out of it. Oh, that's a lot of balance. Shaking those legs out. That foot's a little bit cramped up, I think, there. I'm just trying to shake it out. A little dance. There might be another good song on. Hands come to that hip line again. Find those hip bones. Lift that knee. Again, you're going to the point. Whoops, I'm a little bit off balance on this side. So really establish that center balance. Core is engaged. Lift that knee out. Extend the leg. Keep that leg extended as we raise our arms towards the sky. There's your challenge. Extend through all the legs. Lift, lift, lift through that extended leg. Woo, work. There we go. Bend through that extended leg. Lean that body forward. Hands come back to that namaste pose at heart center. Warrior 3. Pull the toes towards your shin. Kicking through that back heel. Let those hips lower. Now, some people do a pointed toe. That's okay. This one, I'm going to lower down. I'm going to try and keep that leg from touching before I grab that back ankle with the same hand. You're going to want to flex your toes here. Extend the opposite arm out to the shoulder line and reach through into your King Dancer. Really nice hip opener, but this is a working pose. So just go to where you're comfortable working. As you can see, I lose balance a little bit, and it's okay to lose balance in any of these poses. We just try to reestablish our centering. Releasing out of that pose, shaking out those legs. Whew, giving it a nice little shaky shake. Maybe if you do have a song on, you're doing your little dance like me. I'm just going to come down into a low squat pose. because we are going to work into our crow pose here. So we're going to do a little bit of an arm balance. So my knees are a little bit wider than my shoulders. I'm going to take my knees on the outside of my arms, not on the backs of my arms, although some people do the back of their arms, and you're just going to find a balance point. Now, squeezing those knees together, you're going to surround your arms or be on the balance part of the triceps. Keep that core lifted as we do we're going to do this a few times. So we're just leaning forward. You might just get to this point where the toe kind of touches down to the ground and you're lifting. Good. Hold it as long as you can before releasing. That is a tough one. It can bruise the tops of the arms if you're balancing weird. And now we're going to just take a third level. So you can do any of the other levels, toe touching. If you want to, you can take it to teddy bear. And I go full headstand in this pose. So I just went for it. So get those legs towards the sky. Keep that core tight. I'm going to balance down. I'm going to pop into our crow pose slightly and then dismount out of it. So there's another option for you there. I only recommend that one if it is part of your practice currently. We are down to the mat for now. Oof. Finally, some rest periods. So I'm just doing a little bit of a knees towards the chest to release any tension that may be in my lower back. This is a really nice lower back massage. Just rocking side to side. We're going to do one more working pose, our bridge pose. So our feet are about hip width apart, arms are down by our side. On the inhale, we lift the hips through the glutes. So using our bum muscles to lift our hips nice and tall. We're just holding here. Just breathing. Exhale, and we're going to lower down one vertebrae at a time, releasing down to the floor. We're going to get another cameo from Echo here, but we're going to lift back up into our bridge pose. We're going to inhale. First, puppy cuddles. Inhale, lifting up into that nice bridge pose, maybe lifting up to the tippy toes, getting a little higher with our hips. So I'm still lifting. Try to keep the arms down by your side unless you're getting a little bit of puppy kisses in your face, then those hands can come off, I guess. So you could do either one of those two poses. So I'm trying to just get Echo to lie down. Let's lift back up into that nice bridge pose, this time squeezing those shoulder blades underneath our back and maybe interlocking the fingers. If you'd like to, you could do a single leg lift, switching sides, just lifting. You can also just do this one as a regular bridge pose, exactly that picture right there, releasing the hands out from underneath you before you lower it down. Doing a little bit of a knee windshield wiper to reestablish the back. Lifting back up. Now we're going to take into plow pose. So I've got my hands supporting my lower back there. If you can just roll right up into that plow pose. Plow pose, do not turn your head whatsoever in this pose. You're actually trying to lift the chin slightly away from the chest as you lower those legs towards the ground. Now I'm really loosened up this day in my back, so this looks really comfortable, but this is not always the most comfortable pose. So I try to play around with it as much as possible. I bring one leg towards the sky. I try and change the angle at which my feet are coming down towards the ground. Really just firing through the core just to make sure that I'm not going in all sorts of directions. Take my hands to my lower back when I'm ready to dismount. I'm actually just going to slide those hands down to the side using my strong core muscles to lower those hips down. We're going to take the arms out to the shoulder line and just let the knees fall towards the right side of our body. Taking some nice deep breaths here. Maybe turning the head to the opposite side. You can even take your right hand and place it on top of your left knee here. Just encourage a deeper stretch. We're just starting into our rest poses, our recoveries. Just breathing here. You guys have done such good work today. Let's inhale, bring our knees back to center. Just let the knees fall on the other side. This side's a little tighter on me, so I use my hand for support. And that's okay. Today's practice was a vigorous practice. It can be a little bit challenging for people that don't always do yoga, so you should be really happy that you got through to the end and you've managed to get to the delicious stretches that we all love to do. Again, just breathing through this side twist. Bring your knees back to center. Open those Knees to the side, let the feet come together, arms extend above you. So we're just opening through the pelvic girdle. Just breathing here. If this is uncomfortable in your back in any way, change that out. So we're going to take happy baby here just to create a little bit more depth in our hips. So I've just taken my big toe with my 2 fingers. I'm drawing my knees to my armpit area. And if I'm able to, I'm going to try and extend the legs a little bit. I'm really tight here. Oh, there's my attempt there. It ain't happening today, and that's okay. So I release that down, take my right heel over top of my left knee. I can grab the back of the thigh or the front of the shin, or just leave that foot down on the ground for this really intense, easy pigeon pose. So it's a variation of pigeon, or some people will call it the number 4, because if you extend that bottom leg out, it shapes like a number 4. Breathing here, making sure our shoulders, back, and head stay on the ground. If any part of those things are lifting up, or your hips have lifted up off the ground, you've got a little bit too far. We're going to release that side, take our opposite leg, cross it by the knee. Grab the back of the thighs, see if this feels right to us. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe we take it a little bit deeper and bring the hands to the front side of the shins on that bottom leg. Or we just keep the foot on the ground, and that's where it stays today. Smiling to yourself as I am, if you're pretty happy that you finished this practice. Releasing both legs here. We're going to do our anti-chaturanga pose. So it's a hammock pose. Fingers point towards the bum, feet are hip width apart, and we're just lifting the hips off the ground. Head can be in a neutral position, chin towards your chest if that's more comfortable. But you're going to really feel this down your forearms and your shoulders. And we don't really get a lot of that in yoga. So release out of this one. I slide my hips underneath where my hands are. Let my body round forward in a nice double leg hamstring stretch. If your hands can reach your bottoms of your feet like mine, this helps keep your feet nice and warm. If you can't reach your feet, that's okay. You're just grabbing beside your legs. Inhaling, bring yourself back up. We do hammock pose one more time. We're just lifting up. Beautiful. Nice big hammock pose here. Good. And extending forward. Oh, this time I decided to do a bent knee stretch. So I brought both feet together, let my knees fall apart, and just letting my body round forward here. Taking nice deep breaths. On this one, sometimes one of the cues I'll use is every exhale, you're just letting that head drift down towards the ground. Just getting nice and deep. Let those hips open. Don't press down with your arms on your legs. Just let those legs open naturally. Beautiful. We're going to get ready for a nice Shavasana pose. So laying on our back, feet extended to the outside corners of our mat, arms down by our side. Beautiful. We're just being grateful of today's practice. Maybe your knees are bent with the feet at the outside edges of your mat, just to let your lower back release. I want to thank everyone for joining me today. The body benefits from movement, but the mind benefits from stillness. So stay in your stillness for as long as you're comfortable. And whenever you're ready, just rolling to one side of your mat and having a great rest of your day. Namaste. Puppy cuddles.